Food smell, guys. The ones who are vegetarians are saying great. The ones who are not are like, we ain't smelled no meat yet. My crew is a rough crew. Bashalde, come on in. Andy, like the good Lord says, I'm just waiting for you to say the word and I shall be healed. Tell me when to start. No, Shamato, you closed the door yet? Ready? Okay. Everybody, please take your seat. Angela, I need you in. Angela, come in. Angela, you're one of the speakers. We need you in the front. Angela Musgrove, we need you in the front. Please come. Mitch, we need you in the front. You guys are cutting into my time. Let me see how old this audience is. If I said 6 minutes, what's the next phrase? 8, 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh, you're on. That's my kind of crowd. No, Mitch, not you. Sit, eat. Angela, sit, eat. Okay. Guys, sit down. All right, Shimada, you ready? Close the door. Please, thanks. Thanks, Shimada. All right, everybody. So I'm Jerry Butler, and I'm the MC at this lunch, as I've always been, and I'm a bit of a under the clock now. So I'm a stormtrooper, and I have Andy Ingraham, who is Darth Vader. He's right behind me, ordering me around. So we gotta get to this quick. All right. So this is our annual luncheon, and the luncheon today is sponsored by the folks at Marriott Hotels. So give Marriott a hand. So now that we've established who is paying for this meal, I just want you to take a moment of silence and let's give God thanks that we're able to have a wonderful meal today, courtesy of this beautiful hotel and their staff, Dr. Andy Ingram and the folks at Marriott. So please bow your heads. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, let the church say, Amen. Heavenly Father, please bless this wonderful meal which we're about to partake. May it nourish us, do us good, and Lord, please bless the hands that prepare it so that this food may make us healthy, wealthy, O Lord, and wise. This we ask in Christ our Lord. Let the church say, all right, food is blessed. All right, let's get this show on the road. So I want you to pay attention to the QR code and the poster that you see here. So we've got an ongoing opportunity for you to travel on the national airline of the Bahamas. I might dare say, coming from the Bahamas, the safest airline in this whole wide world. So please, everybody, book this QR code, get in the contest, and I want you to fly Bahamas Air. So pay attention to it. All right, now we get the run of the course with our speakers. So my wonderful little niece, godchild, prettiest girl in the room always, Nyla Fowler. Nyla is going to come up and tell you about the art exhibition. Come, Nyla. Come, Nyla. It's your birthday. Welcome up.
Hello, my name is Nyla Fowler. I'm entering my third year studying communications design with a focus in graphic design at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York. I wanted to come up here and talk through why and what our auction is about. So in Miami is the 5th rising art capital in the US. We hold major galleries, biennials, and public art projects that are key players in the global art market. The art market is important because it is a global economic and cultural powerhouse that blends aesthetic value with financial investment. Art is often considered a safe haven asset, outperforming traditional markets during crisis, and is valued at tens of billions of dollars. Art markets connect cultures, facilitates international trade and cultural goods, and attracts global attention. It can boost tourism and cultural exchange. A great example of this is Art Basel, the largest and most prestigious fair of the contemporary and modern art market since its founding in 1970 in Basel, Switzerland. It has since expanded to Miami, Hong Kong, Paris, and Qatar. In my travels, what catches my eyes first is the ambiance. Is the space inviting? What will make me stay? Is it comfortable? When you go into the front lobby or into your hotel room tonight, note the art that is used. A great example of merging artistry and hospitality is the Aloft brand by Marriott. They operate around 240 properties worldwide since its 2008 launch, known for its innovative and vibrant spaces. So when you walk into the banquet hall and start placing your bids on the amazing and wonderful student work, I'd like you to think about how your business can incorporate bridging the gap between hospitality and artistry, because they go hand in hand. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Nyla Fowler. Feel free to ask me any questions or connect with me. Enjoy this event, and let's reach our goal for these scholarships. Thank you.
Thank you, Nyla. I'm so proud of you. I would ask PJ to play Stevie Wonder's song. Isn't she lovely? Come on, PJ. No, don't bother. Don't bother. Let's move on because I'm on the clock now. Okay. So our next speaker is going to be from that beautiful place where there's St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix. It's those people from the Caribbean just like me, but they got a U.S. passport. They don't need no visa. So please help me welcome Miss Jennifer Matarangas, the commissioner from the Department of Tourism of the United States Virgin Islands. Come, Jennifer.
Thank you. Greetings, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. This has been an amazing event. Congratulations to the organizers. Let's give them a round of applause. It's truly a pleasure to join you today at the Nabhood Summit Marriott Luncheon. On behalf of Governor Albert Bryan and the people of the U.S. Virgin Islands, I bring greetings. In the USVI, we're naturally in rhythm. And I also want to acknowledge two of my colleagues who are also leading teams and they're key partners when it comes to our destination engagement. So we have former Commissioner Joseph Bisciotti, who's here. Now he is the president and CEO of Waiko Limited. So Joe, and also I also want to big up Wayne Biggs, who is the executive director for the Economic Development Authority. These are key partners. All of us work together to really focus on the destination and ensure that we have folks who are coming in who are going to ensure that we continue to grow. So I want to acknowledge these gentlemen. I'd like to extend my sincere appreciation to Marriott International. I'm a Marriott Bonvoy girl. I'm actually staying across the street. Don't tell anybody. for hosting today's luncheon and for its long-standing partnership with the U.S. Virgin Islands. For those of us who have been around the Marriott Frenchman's Reef, which is now Westin, has been an important part of our development. And at one point, we also had a renaissance on St. Croix. So they have done a lot to really help us grow. And of course, we know the importance of having a flagship hotel. It's very important. For decades, Marriott has been an important part of our tourism story, investing in our communities in so many ways. Very, very important. And creating jobs for Virgin Islanders and welcome millions of visitors to experience the warmth, beauty, and hospitality of our treasured destination. Partnerships like these demonstrate what can be accomplished when industry leaders and destinations share a commitment to excellence and sustainable growth. The relationship between Marriott and the U.S. Virgin Islands is one built on trust, shared success, and a common vision for the future. And that's so important. As our destination continues to experience record tourism growth, we've had an amazing year so far. Outside of the trials and tribulations, it's still been amazing. And exciting new investments, we value partners from throughout the hospitality industry who recognize not only the strength of our market, but also the richness of our culture and the resilience of our people. As Caribbean people, we know that resilience is one of our hallmarks because we've all been through a lot. Today's gathering is also a reminder of the importance of summits like Nabhood. Once again, thank you, Dr. Andy. It's been amazing. Who continues to advance opportunities for Black hotel ownership, entrepreneurship, and leadership throughout the hospitality industry. As the Commissioner of Tourism for the U.S. Virgin Islands, I believe that creating pathways for greater diversity and economic opportunities for our people strengthens our industry and enriches the visitor experience for destinations around the world because people are really looking at us and what we're doing and how we're treating our community. Thank you all for your partnership. We really appreciate it. Your leadership and your continued investment in building a stronger and more inclusive hospitality industry. We look forward to continuing our successful relationship with Marriott and welcoming each of you to the USVI. And I have to say, I would not be worth anything if I didn't say this. If you haven't visited, you're overdue. Talk to me before you leave today. I want to welcome you to please come to the USVI. We'll take good care of you, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John. We're super special. You'll be hearing from me later on at one of the workshops, and I hope to see you soon. On behalf of the USVI, we're naturally in rhythm. Please come visit us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jennifer, and thanks for sponsoring the wonderful event last evening. There is a session following this featuring Caribbean opportunities where we will again give the U.S. Virgin Islands some focus. Next up is a buddy of mine who, when he told me he was going to run in the last election to become an MP, I looked at him and I said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And he said, "Jerry, I will, and I'll do it successfully." So fresh off his May the 12th winning by a landslide of the island of Bimini in the Bahamas is the Parliamentary Secretary from the Ministry of Tourism in the Bahamas and the former Counsel General of the Bahamas to Atlanta, Georgia, the Honorable Randy Rolle.
Thank you very much. A pleasant good afternoon. I'm so happy to be here on behalf of the people of the Bahamas and the Ministry of Tourism. We have a number of partners here. And for us, it's about partnership. Growing our partnerships, I bring regards. But I want to recognize Andy Ingram, everyone in your respective areas, and parliamentary colleague from Jamaica and others. It's good to be here. You know, one of the things my constituents always tell me is that eating and speeches don't go together much. So, you know, I'm guided by that, but we're happy to be amongst you. I invite you guys to visit the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism's booth, as well as Bahamas there. They just don't fly there, they live here, but you know, so we're excited to be a part of this. We're excited to Nabhood, and my good friend Andy Ingram, you know, all they told me is to be successful in politics, follow Andy around for a couple of months and you cannot go wrong. And so thank you for all your guidance, Andy. It's a pleasure to be here. Enjoy your lunch, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Short and sweet. Okay, so our next speaker, she's promised me lunch. She's promised me dinner. I'm still waiting on her to promise me breakfast. But she's from that wonderful little place where if you go there, make sure you take your black card, because it is worth every penny, but it is one hell of a luxury destination. It's a wonderful place to visit, a wonderful place for me to take investors, and I am always happy to invite her to speak. So please, Angela, you know I'm looking for you, right? Where are you? Angela Musgrove. Angela, we're looking for you, please. Please help me welcome Miss Angela. And make a promise to make me breakfast.
Good day. It is. Good day, everyone. And I have no words for Jerry. None. But thank you very much to Andy and team for bringing together all of us to this luncheon. Such an impressive group of professionals. And of course, we know that the opportunity to network in this fashion is invaluable to strengthening partnerships as we continue to drive investment and growth across the Caribbean. And of course, I extend my sincere appreciation to Marriott for hosting this luncheon. Marriott has 2 properties in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and they are on their way to a 3rd property. And I told Hugo a while ago, I think Marriott is looking forward to the day when they can say Turks and Caicos by Marriott, because they're continually looking for ways to expand their footprint. And of course, we welcome the brand. Their confidence in our market actually shows the destination and the investment climate and the strength of our beautiful by nature Turks and Caicos. So as CEO of Invest Turks and Caicos, and of course, a proud resident and citizen of the Turks and Caicos Islands, I can't leave without extending an open invitation to you to explore the beautiful Turks and Caicos Islands. Whatever your interest is, whether it's hospitality or mixed use, I want to help you to navigate that investment journey and of course, visit our beautiful by nature shores. So enjoy your luncheon, and I look forward to meeting you after this to talk about investment opportunities in Turks and Caicos.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you, my sister Angela. Give her another hand, please. So I told you this meal is courtesy of Marriott, and where would we be without Marriott's sponsorship and the various programs that they have set aside to help us as African Americans, Caribbean people, get into this Marriott brand story. So please help me welcome Brandon Harris. And he is the Director of Development for Marriott Hotels.
For nearly a century, Marriott has been guided by a simple belief: put people first.
Good to see you, big dog.
You all right?
I know. Doing very well.
To show how we grow and how we support owners. From vision to opening, we work alongside owners, bringing experience and resources to drive long-term value. With one of the world's most diverse portfolios, our brands and product types are designed to meet the needs of every market. From day one, owners benefit from powerful sales, marketing, and loyalty engines that help drive demand and long-term performance. Powered by a global base of nearly 283 million members. Grounded in our culture and focused on what's next, we're committed to helping owners and partnering for success. Together, we own the future.
Well, all right. Before I start this, I want to give a shout out to my mama real quick who couldn't be here. So I'm about to record a video and show her what all them butt whoopings did for me. That I'm out here in Miami speaking. Mama, peep game. We made it. Thank you for teaching me, whooping my butt. We're here. Yeah. Appreciate y'all for letting me do that so I can send that to my mama. Okay. With that being said, I want to start off with a couple other thank yous. First of all, Andy, shout out to you, man. I'm serious. I met you a few years ago, NYU. You told me I should come to this, and I couldn't be more appreciative of you. So shout out to you, Andy, for everything you've done. Next up, everybody, please give a round of applause to the Hyatt hotel team right now that are taking care of you, serving these meals, and taking care of you. We're here to learn about hotel development, to be hospitable to people, to be able to take care of people. And that's what this team is here doing right now. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Thank you. We're here to learn how to be hospitable, how to take care of things. That's something I've learned in hotel development is we're not just here to build a hotel. We're here to provide a service for people when they travel to these markets. So again, another round of applause to the Hyatt hotel service team. Another shout out, the Nabhood team. Thank y'all for putting together such a great event, a great experience here in Miami. Again, a round of applause to the Nabhood team as well. Thank y'all for all that you do. And lastly, I want to say, give a round of applause to yourself for coming, for making this a financial investment, for getting on those planes, coming to this hotel, and looking as good as you do. Something I want to bring up after you just watch this video is that next year is going to be 100 years of Marriott. Next year is going to be the centennial year for Marriott. And that may not mean a lot to some of you here, but it does to us. I'm very passionate about what I do. 100 years ago, the Marriott family took a gamble on themselves. They started an NCNW root beer stand and moved across the country and drove all the way to Bethesda, Maryland, which then turned into Hot Shops, which now today we have more than 10,000 hotels worldwide. Which leads me to think about a story my pastor taught me when I was growing up as a child is that we shouldn't focus on being seed growers. We should focus on being seed sowers because everything starts there. Everything starts with a dream. Everything starts with a wish. But you have to be willing to water that seed. You have to be willing to make those commitments and be faithful that with faith the size of a mustard seed that you can move mountains. And that's going to be my main thing for you guys today. Don't think that your dream is too small. We all start somewhere. As my old coach used to say, Brandon, everybody got a story. Just put the work in. That's what I want to remind you guys today. That's what we're here to do. Put the work in. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in where you come from and your story. And don't try to be a second-rate version of somebody else. Be a first-rate version of who God called you to be. And then you'll have a niche carved out for yourself. That's all I wanted to say. Enjoy the lunch. Enjoy the rest of the conference. And have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
All right, Brandon.
Appreciate you, sir.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brandon. We always appreciate Marriott. And thanks for that shout out to Hyatt, man. I love when you don't compete, you compliment. It's a great attribute. So we've got a guest speaker today, as we always do, top politician here. And ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome my buddy and partner, Dr. Andy Ingraham. And Andy is 136. You're going to invite Delano Seiveright here. You're going to sit down. He's going to give a speech, and then we're going to move on. I could do that because I'm in charge now. You know, when he takes over, that's it, right? All right, so help me welcome the man who put this all together, the visionary, the man who keeps it going after 30 years. My buddy, greatest looking, handsomest, slim, tall, dark guy you'll ever meet. If it's late at night, and you're through a dark alley. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Dr. Andy Ingraham. Do your thing.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry. Good job as usual. Except Angela needs to do something about you. Maybe we can send you back to training school. Marriott, Brandon, thank you for those kind comments. Patrick and the whole Marriott team who've been working together. They're truly partners when we started, and they're partners today. But today, being from the Caribbean, I'm always proud that when we can do the international lunch, because that's a focus on how we develop an industry that's so great. I'm from a little place called Tarpon Bay, Eleuthera, in the Bahamas. When I grew up, the dog used to fall asleep in the street. We didn't have a lot of cars that went by. Today, the dog still falls asleep in the street. One day we're going to change that and bring development to it. But what is much more important, I went off to school to Jamaica, and I spent my formative years, many years, high school, first couple of years of college, living in a place called Mandeville, Jamaica. Good. Both Craig and I are both, we say, from Mandeville. Craig is a developer who just built a great Marriott in New York City. And who would have thought two young guys growing up in Mandeville would be in America today building hotels? The speaker today is an extraordinary individual. I met him many years ago when I attended the installation of the Prime Minister of Jamaica with a delegation from the Bahamas, our former Minister of Tourism, Obi Whitcomb. And he was then a young party leader trying to make sure the next generation of Jamaicans had a voice in society. Today, he's a newly minted MP. His vision and spirit is as strong as ever. His commitment to the development of Jamaica is so infectious that when you meet him, and I encourage you after he speaks today to get to meet him, that you'll know why that there's good things on the horizons. As the Minister of Investment, I've spent many days meeting with him when he travels to the US or when I travel to Jamaica, because he's passionate about Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, and many of you looking at Jamaica as an investment. Think about it today. He is going to drive the commitment of the government of Jamaica, encouraging investors and brands to come in. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming my friend to the stage, the Minister of Investment, Delano Seiveright. Delano?
Thank you, Andy, Bahamian, Jamaican, American, Caribbean, one of the most influential people I know, certainly in the English-speaking Caribbean and this side of the United States. Give him a round of applause for his amazing leadership. Of course, Jerry, honor to see you again, sir. Commissioner Jennifer Matarangas-King, and of course, Minister, Honorable Member Randy Rolle, out of the Bahamas, another young star from out the Bahamas. Other distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and of course, importantly, Marriott International. Thank you. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal. I'm a Bonvoy member myself. I have to keep reminding the front desk folks of my number, my Bonvoy number. So I have to save it in a special folder in my phone. I go, let me give you my Bonvoy number. So happy you guys have given some support to this event. And it's quite timely, as we had breaking news in Jamaica that Catalonia Resorts, which is just down the road from the Montego Bay International Airport, they're going through a very extensive renovation program. I met with the owners last week. There's huge capex, It's going to be 550 plus amazing rooms. Patrick, Brandon, Hugo, all of you, thank you. 2028 official opening, and it's going to be a phenomenal resort, and it's one of the best located resorts in all of Jamaica. So please give Marriott International a round of applause for changing the game again. And we're very thankful of that. Of course, all my amazing brothers and sisters across the Caribbean, thank you, from the Bahamas, the Turks and Caicos Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and all the amazing folks here. A pleasant good afternoon to you again. So we're here. Really a privilege to be amongst such an amazing group. And it's quite timely, as you know, Jamaica, and I'm sure Andy realized this, we've come out of quite a devastating hurricane in October last year. So it's quite timely that we're here this afternoon. As you know, Jamaica, we're the largest English-speaking country in the Caribbean, and we like to say that we're the third largest English-speaking nation in the Western Hemisphere. Doesn't that sound great? After the United States, Canada, then you have Jamaica. So that's an important fact for all of you to know. And of course, the country is strategically located. We're just an hour and 20 minutes from here in Miami, with easy access to the rest of the world, a population of just under 3 million. And beyond that, we have about 3 million plus members of the diaspora spread throughout the United States, Canada, and the UK in particular. And our population makes us, we even have more English language speakers than Miami, Florida. Can you imagine that? Jamaica has way more English language speakers than Miami, Florida. So that too is an extraordinary selling point for Destination Jamaica. So, of course, businesses can efficiently connect with Jamaica, whether you're in North America, Latin America, Europe. We have flight connections from everywhere. Germany, the UK, Italy, Canada, US, of course, but beyond that, Panama, Colombia, Peru, and several other countries. So it's a connectable destination, and it's really the place to be. Of course, we have a great logistics position. We have the language advantage. We have an amazing legal system. And we have a phenomenally solid democracy. Randy, you'll understand. I mean, we have elections every 4 or 5 years, and people, they put you in and then they throw you out, and you put you back in. And even if we win by 1 seat, which my party did in 2016, when we won 2016, won by 1 seat, it was absolutely peaceful transfer of power, no issues. So we're very well developed democracies in the English-speaking Caribbean. It's something we should be proud about, and we should give ourselves a round of applause for that, because in other countries it's not that simple, right? So as I said before, the biggest story, of course, October 28, 2025, Hurricane Melissa made landfall as a Category 5 plus hurricane with sustained winds of 185 miles per hour, devastating sections of Western Jamaica in particular, right? A really strange hurricane, because I was in Kingston at the time of the hurricane. I remember doing an interview on NBC New York, live, and I was saying to myself, wow, there's a hurricane hitting Jamaica, and here am I live with NBC New York. So, and the friends in the Bahamas, Turks, we know hurricanes. It's so strange how they will turn and destroy one specific part of our country, and then the rest of the country is functioning. We have electricity, we're getting on with life. It's one of the weirdest things, but it was truly a devastating storm. One of the strongest hurricanes on record in the history of hurricanes. Our Planning Institute, in our damage and loss assessment, said that hurricane cost Jamaica $1.95 trillion, which is Jamaican dollars for my friends here, which is just over 12 billion US dollars. So 1.9 trillion is 12 billion US dollars. What do you think about that? So truly devastating, because that's literally over 50% of our country's GDP. So it also reinforced a couple of things. We were able to really start the recovery process at a very quite speedily. We were able to get significant support from the international community. We have had a good macroeconomic program over the last several years, and we're able to be given access to up to $6.7 billion US dollars in support from multilateral institutions and so on. So we made another important decision. We would not simply rebuild what Hurricane Melissa destroyed. We would build something better. That's really the big thing that has come out of this hurricane. In every crisis really comes opportunity and more resilient infrastructure. We want smarter roads. We want stronger bridges. We want modern schools. We want climate resilient public buildings. We need more reliable utilities, of course, and better flood mitigation and so on. So this philosophy, build forward better, now underpins much of Jamaica's reconstruction strategy. And the Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been absolutely keen about ensuring that this is the case, that this crisis, we utilize it to really transform a lot of things, especially in Western Jamaica. Now, in many respects, Hurricane Melissa accelerated investments that otherwise may have taken another decade to complete. History shows us that great economies are often shaped by how they respond to adversity, how they respond to crisis. Japan rebuilt after World War II. Singapore was able to transform itself from just a tiny outpost in Asia to become a huge financial center in the world today. And of course, the United States repeatedly rebuilt itself after multiple crises, including financial crises. Now, Jamaica intends to do exactly the same. Our objective is not simply recovery. Our objective really is, game-changing transformation. And I sometimes tell investors, if Jamaica can survive hurricanes, global recessions, pandemics, and still find time to produce some of the best Olympic athletes in the world and Grammy Award winners, imagine what we can accomplish when the weather actually works with us, right? So it's an amazing country. Now, another major point that we wanted to really communicate to the room here is that it is the issue of crime, right? And the sense of us really getting on top of it. As you know, Jamaica has over the years had an issue with crime and violence, and we want to really state categorically that we've made significant inroads on that front. There's always that issue of perception. Is Jamaica safe? Is Jamaica safe? And for years, it's something our country has grappled with. Finally, we've been able to take control of that horrible monster called crime and really put things into a better place. What we have now is probably the most transformative level of achievements over the last several years in crime management. We've been able to cut murders in Jamaica by half, more than half, compared to 3 years ago. It's a phenomenal achievement. And it was not easy. It took quite a lot of intelligent policing, a lot of really amazing crime fighting strategies. My friend from the Turks and Caicos Islands would know, of course, that your commissioner was one of our former deputy commissioners of police. And I know he has been doing a pretty good job too in the Turks and Caicos Islands to address some of the issues there. And we have been able to take control of issues that really have held this country back for many years. We have cut gangs by more than half. We had about 300 and odd gangs operating in Jamaica. We're now just at about 100 plus gangs operating in Jamaica. We have had some of the smartest police strategies that you can think of. We have put away some of the more serious offenders, and it is reaping benefits. So the days of having, in some instances, 1,400 murders in a year, those days are over. We're now under 700 for the year, and we continue to see declines. We're already down another 20% this year. We intend to continue on that trajectory to ensure that Jamaica remains a safe place to build, a safe place to invest, and continue to really reap success on that front. So that's something we are excited to share with the investment community because it has always been a concern. The United States government and other governments have also acknowledged this achievement where our travel advisory has improved. We're now at level 2. And that's because there's a growing sense that Jamaica is becoming much safer and much more hospitable to folks who want to come there and invest and so on. So in addition to some of our economic successes, our management of crime and violence has really garnered a lot of attention. And I know we're getting a lot of support on that front. And we are really happy to really announce that and let everybody know that we're making solid progress on that ground. As we continue to build out, as you know, our economics, we have done a pretty good job at managing our economy. Our debt levels, Jamaica had some of the highest public debt in the world. At one point, as much as 140% of GDP was debt, was money we owed, so we couldn't invest in anything. We have managed to cut that to less than 70% today because of sound, again, really sound and serious economic policies across various administrations. I mean, Jamaica has 2 major political parties, and we, one party to another. Well, the Bahamas knows that you guys move quickly when it comes to that kind of stuff. But except now I see a little anomaly now, so congratulations, Randy, for that. But we decided over the years, certainly since 2010, that we had to deal with the issues affecting our economy. And one of the biggest ones was our debt levels. I mean, just to have a burden of 140% of GDP being debt is just a completely unsustainable situation. And we decided to aggressively get on that. So we've been able today to bring the debt down, cut it dramatically to just about a third of a half of where it was. And it's one of the most significant reductions anywhere in the world. And the achievement, of course, has been recognized by the International Monetary Fund, international credit agencies, and global investors. Also, our net international reserves, despite Hurricane Melissa, stand at just over $6 billion US, providing about 30 plus weeks of import cover. So that's amongst one of the strongest external reserve positions we've ever had in our country's history. Inflation continues to be relatively well managed. Our Jamaican dollar has demonstrated relative stability over the recent years. It's been pretty stable over the last 5 years. And of course, unemployment has fallen to historic lows. Jamaica's unemployment rate is just under 4%, which is creating its own challenges, but it reflects that the labor market is stronger than any previous period in our modern history. So it's not just simply economic indicators, not just simply signals. It really is that the country is on a long-term mission to success, to stability, and to further strengthening of our position to attract investment and to attract jobs. Now, investors have been paying attention. Institutional investors, of course, rarely invest based on optimism alone, right? They invest where risk is declining, where policy is predictable, where governments honor commitments, where infrastructure improves, where the private sector is growing, where returns justify long-term capital. And increasingly, that describes Jamaica. Our government has deliberately positioned ourselves as a facilitator, not just a competitor to private enterprise. Our responsibility is straightforward: to create an environment where businesses can invest with confidence, they can expand with certainty, and they can employ more people and generate sustainable returns. So that philosophy, my friends, underpins virtually every major return currently underway, from digital government services to investment facilitation to customs modernization and so on. Now, Jamaica has no shortage of success stories. Despite being small, our private sector has built companies that compete internationally, companies whose growth tells the story of Jamaica's investment climate. Of course, Sandals Resorts International, everybody knows Sandals, and Marriott has a great working relationship with that group. We have an AC Marriott in Kingston, and we're now looking forward to the new AC Marriott Montego Bay. So give Marriott again a round of applause for being game changers. By the way, that's going to become one massive party spot. I'm just telling you right now. So it's going to be a huge party spot in Montego Bay with the kind of views you're going to have of the sea and so on. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. So Sandals Resorts International, it began as a single Jamaican hotel that has grown into the world's leading luxury, one of the world's leading luxury all-inclusive resort companies with properties in Turks and Caicos Islands, of course, the Bahamas, and elsewhere. We also have, of course, Grace Kennedy, one of Jamaica's oldest companies. That's a multinational enterprise spanning North America, Europe, the UK, the Caribbean, solid annual revenues. We have the Muslim group of companies, which includes Separate Group that has transformed itself into one of the Caribbean's largest manufacturing and distribution companies. We have Wisynco, which is a huge manufacturing company too, and multiple financial institutions that continue to do phenomenally well. Ladies and gentlemen, these companies did not become successful despite Jamaica. They became successful because Jamaica gave them the platform from which to grow. So our macroeconomic stability really has created confidence. But confidence alone does not generate returns. Investment follows infrastructure. Investment follows connectivity. Investments follow governments that understand the private sector. So today our infrastructure program is unlike anything in our modern history. Across the island, roads, highways, airports, ports, water systems, digital infrastructure, energy, a lot of investments happening. And it is infrastructure that has been designed to reduce costs, it improves productivity, and it will unlock entirely new investment opportunities. If you visited Jamaica 15, 20 years ago and you return for the first time today, one of the first things you notice is how dramatically improved mobility is. We have over 150 kilometers of modern new highway infrastructure. Anybody who drives between Kingston and Montego Bay, you know that. We have a new highway connecting Kingston with the North Coast. Before, it was a beautiful and scenic route. Still is scenic on the highway, but really tight corners with beautiful cliffs going down 700 feet to your right. So it was a bit of an adventurous drive, I would say. And you know how some of us Jamaicans drive around corners. We Caribbean people know that we're known to be very good at driving around very thin, very narrow corners with a cliff to your left and a cliff to your right? So we have been able to modernize a lot of that infrastructure. So Kingston to Ocho now just takes, without traffic, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. And going to Montego Bay, with a police escort to get there in an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes without 2.5 hours. Things have improved significantly. So today, we have many major projects that are literally on stream. Montego Bay has a brand new highway being built around it right now. It should be open in another 3 months. So when you exit the Mobe International Airport, you can jump on the highway in 2 minutes and you could drop out going west back to where Round Hill and those places are in no time. It's going to take you 15 minutes to ring the city. And that's a game changer for those of us who have been stuck in traffic in Montego Bay. And of course, we have a Southern Highway Improvement Project that continues, that already brought highway infrastructure from Kingston going all the way into central Jamaica. And then we have an extension that will carry you all the way into St. Elizabeth, which is another game changer going west. And of course, we also have opened up the east of the island, east of Kingston, with a new highway infrastructure running that way too. Of course, if for Montego Bay too, there's going to be another highway that's already under construction and should be open the middle of next year, which will carry you further south of Montego Bay, heading into the southwestern parishes of Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth. And that's a Long Hill bypass for those who are familiar with the space. So the government has established also the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority. This is as a result of Hurricane Melissa. It's the most significant institutional outcome coming out of Hurricane Melissa. Its mandate is to completely, do proper reconstruction, strengthen resilience, accelerate implementation, and ensure that major capital projects financed by international development partners are delivered more efficiently, transparently, and sustainably. So for investors, this matters because resilient infrastructure protects capital, it lowers long-term risk, And that demonstrates that Jamaica is planning not only for today's economy, but for the next generation. In terms of our airports, we have improvement programs happening in Montego Bay for the Sangster International Airport. They're going to invest another $120 million US. We're going to double the size of the arrivals hall and the immigration hall. It's going to double in size. We're already improving the departure promenade and so on. That's work in progress right now. And we are doing other modernization efforts as it relates to the kiosks and so on, so we can get people in and out of the airport much faster. Kingston is also going through modernization at the airport there. And of course, we have a small airport outside Ocho Rios that now has flights between Miami and Ocho Rios with American Eagle. So that has been really good for us. And we're now also advancing development plans for an airport in Negro. And that's a work in progress. It's going to be a public-private partnership to do an international airport in the vicinity of Negro. And that's going to be another game changer. And we're looking forward to that unfolding in the coming years. Of course, as you know, Jamaica is also a great logistics destination. Our ports are some of the most important ports in the world. I believe the Kingston port is one of the top 100 ports in the world, has a capacity of 3.2 million TEUs, making it one of the largest transshipment ports this side of the world. And this is complemented, of course, by the continued development of our special economic zones, which falls under my ministry, and the Cayman Special Economic Zone, and many other developments. So, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of the tourism sector, it's been game-changing. And again, the hurricane whilst a terrible crisis, does also create an opportunity. So we're seeing massive investments in renovations as we speak. And I think that in part influenced the Catalonia decision to just move forward and just completely renovate the property, get that Marriott brand on there, and step forward. Who knows, it may not have happened as quickly if the hurricane didn't hit. We also have several other major developments coming on stream. Jamaica's first casino resort, Princess Resorts, is there. They are on track now to receiving their license, so it'll be the first casino in Jamaica. We expect that casino to become functional early next year, and just about 35 minutes outside Montego Bay. And that resort already did 1,000 rooms and intends to expand in the coming years. Grand Palladium Resort, also outside Montego Bay, has 1,000 rooms, and they are now in the ground for an additional 950 rooms, a €400 million investment. It's going to be a major expansion there, and they're already in the ground. And then we have a wave of renovations happening in Montego Bay with Secrets Resorts. Royalton will be opening back soon. That's another Marriott connected entity. Of course, we also have the Harmony Cove development in Trelawney. That's also outside Montego Bay. That's going to be a huge several $100 million investment, and it's finally happening, and we're very happy about that. And of course, in St. Anne, we have a brand new Royalton Chic, again, Marriott connected, which will be open next year, hopefully by the summer of next year, 350 plus suites. It's another great development. We also have another 700-room resort coming to St. Anne, and several other developments coming on stream. One of the strongest indicators of confidence in Jamaica, of course, is the reinvestments. The world's largest companies continue to expand. You know, Marriott is there, Princess Hotel Resorts, Palladium, as I said before, Catalonia now connected with Marriott. Bahia Principe has a massive expansion too, adding 300 and something rooms to their big resort, which already has about 1,400 rooms. Rio is doing well, Iberia Star. Hard Rock is coming to Jamaica. We're looking forward to that. Unico is also on track, and they're opening early next year. And of course, Moon Palace is also coming to Montego Bay, already in Ocho Rios. And again, many other developments coming on stream. So as we continue to develop, I want you to know Jamaica is very well managed right now. We have been able to address some of our economic challenges. We're now stable. We are focused on post-hurricane military recovery, and we've managed to really do well on the crime management front in bringing crime down to historically low levels. I thank you.
Delano, Thanks so much for all that you said. It just brings in mind the second Jamaican national anthem, huh? It's from riverside to mountains, from cane fields to the sea. Our hearts salute Jamaica, triumphant, proud, and free. You took our breath away, man. A lot is happening down there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I usually, during this meeting, I usually put in one insert, and it's very important. We started off with Nyla giving us a little discussion on the art show. Outside in the foyer, you'll see lots of references and in documents to the Nabhood Scholarship Fund. Our future looks bright in this industry if we invest now in our people. And what Andy has done every year is Andy makes sure at least 20 students from schools locally, Caribbean, everywhere, get to attend this function for free, mix up and work up and do everything with you professionals in the audience and get this exposure to the hospitality and tourism sector. That's not easy to do with just Andy's pocket. So in the audience, we have Mitch Miller, our favorite in-house general counsel. And he's going to be walking around. Please see Mitch if you have contributions or questions about the Nabhood Scholarship Fund. And outside, you'll see a QR code, and you could always ask Andy and ask me, ask Mitch about what you can do to donate to that particular cause, which is an investment in our future. So with that being said, next up online is our usual fireside chat. And we have this incredible investor, entrepreneur, visionary guy. And then, of course, we have Dr. Andy Ingraham. I'm going to exit the stage and allow the two of them to come up here and do their thing. And then afterwards, we'll have the Caribbean Forum that I'll moderate. My job is done, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. PJ is in the back of the room talking about timing. PJ is your dad who is going to take us over the time clock. Her dad is Andy, hey? So thank you very much again. Andy, take it on. And Craig, welcome to the stage.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Let's give him another hand. Thank you very much. Interesting. Jerry is full of energy, as always. Andrew